Before we go any further, I want to say thank you to my sponsor, DraftKings. You may know all about DraftKings Pick 6 by now. You pick more or less the different players' stats for the upcoming games, but 2 or more different players until your pick set. Look at some stats, decide more or less on those stats. Sit back, relax, and see if you made the right decision. As always, I remind you to play responsibly. So I'm looking at the slate of games for tonight, and because we do have the All-Star break coming up, some of these nights have a ton of games, which I really do appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like leading up to the trade deadline, you kind of lose it a little bit. It feels like dog days because you don't even know if this team gonna be doing anything next week. You don't know if they're gonna trade all their players. So you're watching the games, but you may not be watching the games. So I appreciate now that we got the trade deadline, I can snap back into it, and then I get a little bit of break at the All-Star break. All right. So the ways it's gonna work. We got a couple bangers, y'all. We got the Pistons versus the hottest team in basketball, the Charlotte Hornets, who have one of the best net ratings in the NBA over the last 30 games, which is crazy because they're still sub 500, and they're like number 3 in net rating. This is my most anticipated game of the year. The Pistons is coming off a game where they destroyed the New York Knicks. The Hornets are coming off the game where they just won a bunch of them. So I just want to see 2 Eastern Conference juggernauts clash, because this might be a first-round playoff series if you think about it. In this game, I'm actually going to take 2 pieces into my pick set because I'm so excited about this game. Every time I've had Kon Knueppel on a pick set for me personally, Kon Knueppel has done some pretty interesting stuff. So I'm going to go more again on Kon Knueppel's points in this matchup. It will be a tough one because he's going to be guarded by some really elite level guys over there. But I think that he showed us enough throughout his career so far. They don't matter who the defender is. He's going to be able to do some really interesting things. As a rookie, that is really impressive. And on the other side, even though we love Moussa Diabate, I think they're 15-1 when they're starting unit, including Moussa Diabate at the center starting. I'm interested to see what this matchup looks like for Jalen Duren, him versus Moussa. And because of that, I'm going to go more on Jalen's rebound. I'm sorry, not Jaren. Jalen's rebounds. Jalen Duren's rebounds more. I like that a lot. So that's 2 pieces to my pick set. Here on Peacock, we have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic just had a game versus the Jazz, and a game where the Jazz were literally giving them the ball so they can win. And they got a little easy part of the schedule, if you will, even if it didn't feel like an easy win against Utah. The Bucks have been playing semi-decent recently without Giannis, but this should be a game for the Orlando Magic. They can continue to stay on track. And because of that, I'm looking at Anthony Black here. Anthony Black more on points versus the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a really interesting matchup, even if we don't have Giannis suiting up in it. And lastly, the way we end the night here on Peacock on the Coast to Coast is the OKC Thunder versus the LA Lakers. Again, we know that Shai's not playing. We actually just found out that Shai's not even going to play in the All-Star game because of his injury, and Alperen Sengun is now an All-Star. Shout out to Alperen Sengun. But no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I've liked what I've seen from Cason Wallace in a few of these games. I've liked what I've seen from Aaron Wiggins and Kenrich Williams. But because they feel like a by-committee team with no J-Dub and no Shai, I'm going to steer away from them specifically, and I'm going to look over to the Lakers and say, King James himself. I'm going more on King James's points. Since Austin Reeves come back, King James been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just Austin Reeves keeps everything together. Maybe I'm just looking at Austin Reeves. But no, I'm going to go King James and go more on his points. That's my pick set for today. But I just see some interest. Atlanta Hawks versus Timberwolves is a very interesting game. In theory, I don't have any report about this. In theory, Jonathan Kuminga should be debuting in this game. In theory, Ayo Dosunmu should be debuting in this game. So that's actually one of my most watched game or most anticipated games. And then I can't even call this a tank-off game because the Pelicans don't play for anything, but Kings versus Pelicans might be a little bit interesting. Oh, Cavs and Nuggets. Jamal Murray, like he hurt his groin in the game versus the Bulls. I personally have not seen any updates about that, so maybe Jamal Murray doesn't suit up in this one. But James Harden, newly acquired, versus a not really healthy Nuggets team. Bro, did we get spoiled this? Oh, yeah, we got spoiled on this Monday night. For those of you who haven't checked out DraftKings Pick 6 yet, there's an exclusive offer waiting for you. Right now, new DraftKings customers can play $5 to get $60 in Pick 6 bonus picks. All you have to do is download the Pick 6 app and use promo code ENJOY when you sign up. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Texas, California, and Georgia. So don't be afraid to get in on the action. Right at the upside with Pick 6.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.